Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
just taking a few moments to bask in the loveliness of all of those melodies and harmonies and turns of phrase, in the playfulness and the art of this incredible wonder that we all get to experience, this magic called music, this artistry and beauty and creativity that is so lovingly and thoughtfully, intentionally expressed. And so as we allow our minds to be expanded, our hearts to be opened more fully, as we allow our souls to be further activated, what a gift and blessing it is to be in community doing this together. And so knowing that this thing that is the essence of everyone and everything, this energy, this creativity, this love, that this is so fully alive and well and active in each now moment of tonight's Elevate, in everyone and everything present, whether in person or online. I am so grateful to know that tonight's time is good. It is filled with connection and warmth and joy and celebration. It is filled with expansion, and there is that in every single individual present that is already receiving whatever it is that was theirs to receive. And so as we move through the rest of our time together tonight, just like all of the melodies and the tune that we just heard, let us continue to expand and open and allow ourselves to be further activated so that we can show up more fully as the love, the spirit, the source, the creativity, the ingenuity, the infinite potentiality that we are at our core. And not just for ourselves, but for each other, our community, and our world. So for all of the love that is present, for all that is on its way, for all that is yet to be expressed, I simply release my word as law, calling tonight's Elevate a beautiful, brilliant, successful done deal in the mind of Source, in the quantum field of infinite potentiality. So I release, I let go, as we all bask in this beautiful, divine, and infinite flow, and together we affirm, and so it is. So just receiving another breath in, and as we do, bringing to mind someone that we love. And as we exhale, allowing our beloved to settle into our hearts. And if they are in need of prayer or spiritual support, or just some tender, loving care, let us focus our attention on only the wholeness, allness, and wellness of their being. Knowing that as we do so individually, in group, that intentionality, that love, that focus and attention is amplified a gazillionfold. So let's just take a few moments to shower our love and attention upon someone in our life that could use some support. Receiving a big cleansing breath in and release. Gently opening your eyes if you haven't done so already. And let's shift gears and move some energy and show our appreciation for the band. Another beautiful arrangement. Probably by Pablo.
It's a piece by Ludwig van Beethoven called Goodbye to the Piano.
Wow.
Wonder why, but maybe.
Ooh. All right, thank you very much, as always. All right, okay, done that. Thank you. All right, so we are smack dab in the middle of our month. And Ashley, I already talked to Pablo and Peter. I'm going to ask you gents to stay up here because I'm going to need a little bit of music during my talk tonight. Thank you. So we are in the month of knowing. And knowing is our third pillar on the BTC Values Compass. And this is at the bottom, and this is what we champion. Some might say this is what we fight for, what we stand for. I like to use the word champion because it just sounds affirming and positive, right? And so the affirmation to go with this is, we live with the certainty that love is our true nature. Denise, do you have the... She's nodding her head and mouthing the affirmation and like giving her the signals, and she's like, yep, I'm with you. There it is. We live with the certainty that love is our true nature. Oh, so I just invite everyone to allow that to just settle in and land and see how that feels. Does it feel good? Does it feel weird? Can you get behind it? I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads. Yeah? Okay. And then I'm seeing kind of a So knowing for us is this certainty. And when we talk about love, we're not talking about relational love. We're talking about love as the essence of everything. Okay? Like that pure energy, that pure imagination, the inception of all that is. Before there can be something tangible, first there must be love. And of course, sometimes we talk about it as energy, infinite potentiality, source, but here we like to talk about it as love. And so the thing that we are doing on a regular basis or endeavoring to do is to remember that no matter what is going on, no matter what's going on in our heads, you know, the thoughts that are trying to convince us of something, no matter what's going on around us, no matter what's going on with other people across the world, that all of that, even though it may not look like it or feel like it, is love expressing in gazillions of unique and original ways. And what ours is to do is to know that no matter what it looks and feels like, at the very core of it, the very inside, behind it all, underneath it all, is this pure, untouchable, profound wholeness that is so pure, that is so profound, that is so incredibly powerful and resilient, that all the stuff, all the negative feeling stuff, across all of the times and ages and everything put together and then multiplied a gazillion-fold, still doesn't even compare to that power, presence, and profundity that we call love, that we are at our core. And so as that, this is what gets us through the negative times. This is what gets us through the challenging times. This is what gets us through when we aren't 100% sure that we can make it. We trust. We trust and we live with the certainty that love is our true nature. And so I would like to invite Denise to actually read something because it was so beautiful and it was inspired by this month's theme. So do you want to come up to the front? No. Okay, do you want to come up to the side? Are you coming? Are you coming? No. Okay. All right. No, we're not. Thank you. We're not there yet. So this, yeah. Hold the mic close, like kiss it. Kiss it.
Surely as snow covers Mother Earth, the spring will bring blossoms once more. Each new beginning, a chance to embrace love at its finest, the world's wondrous light. Think not of the darkness, only the love you have given and received, accepting and knowing that spring will come again.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. You guys can go ahead and clap. Aww. So what's that? So it's for people who can't hear online. That's beautiful. Denise, did you write that? Yes, that's beautiful. So yeah, an original Denise Boudreau poem. No, not, it's just, hold on. The clicker. So thank you for that. And the line that I mean, the whole thing is so beautiful, but the key line in there for me is think not of the darkness. And so to me, that's not, ignore the darkness. The darkness is still there. It's still part of it. But don't get caught up in the darkness. Focus on the other stuff. Focus on the light. Focus on the love. Focus on the spring coming again. Yeah? All right. Is there anyone else who would like to share something into community about knowing, about Denise's poem? Anything that's alive for you right now? Stephanie has something. You're welcome.
It's on my heart. Thank you for that poem. That was just beautiful. My share is connected to my son. I shared last time. We had a conflict right before I came here. It was part of why I was a little bit late. And as we were reading this again, it just brought me back to remembering who he is, even when he's being himself as a 13-year-old teenager. And when I remember this, when I come back to this, and I remind myself that that's who he is, as well as who I am, all of the stuff, the crap, the upset, it falls away. And I was meditating on some of that today. But it is like magic. Because when we remember this, that is what we see. We see the light, not the dark. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you. Oh, Glenn has something to share. Thank you, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Glenn. I heard a song today. The artist is Bill Callahan. He's an interesting indie kind of guy. And the song's called What Comes After Certainty. This certainty thing's been around my brain for a while. And the 4 lines at the beginning are just, I really like them. True love is not magic, it's certainty. And what comes after certainty? A world of mystery. And he comes back to that certainty, mystery thing again. I love that.
I like that. Yeah, want to know what the rest of the song is. Wow, thank you. Yeah. Is it something that we can have here? Okay, thank you for these beautiful shares, you guys. And just let us all continue to lean into our theme of knowing and this affirmation and how all of that is informing our day-to-day life, whether it's for ourselves, whether it's in relationship with someone we know or we are, in family with, or at the bank watching the news, whatever, right? Okay, so first of all, I want to say welcome, online people, because it's been, I think, 2 elevates at least since the technology has worked. And so thank you to our tech team. Glenn and Liam and Daniela and Isabella's here tonight, and Jamie, who was not here but was here on Sunday and came in and figured out what the issue was. And so, I'm really thrilled that finally we can connect with everyone who's out there again. And just be in community together. So today, I got an email from Maria Namath, who is the author of this super great book called The Energy of Money that she wrote in the 90s, and is the founder of the Academy of Coaching Excellence in the States. And Glenn and I had the good fortune to have her on our podcast a few years back. And then because of that conversation, I actually got invited to be the very first guest that she had on her podcast, which felt like such an honor. And she was also kind enough to write an endorsement for my book when I published my book. So she has a special place in my heart. And so this email, in there she writes, "There comes a time for all of us when we look back on our lives and see the wonderful things we've done and the milestones we've completed. And yet, we may notice our energy beginning to flag, as if we're dragging an anchor behind us." Is this something anyone in the room can relate to? I know I can. Okay, I'm seeing some hands going up. All right, even in the band. Okay, wow, almost everyone in the room. Could we have the next slide, please? Great. Thank you. And so, yeah, this really hit home for me because I experienced the call to ministry many, many, many years ago. And for most of that time, you know, it's only been 2.5 years, well, almost 3 since I graduated. But for most of that time, I was in class, I was studying. And so there was this incredible, unrelenting pace of just like, keep up, keep up, keep up. And all along, it was like, you know, the call to ministry is about being a minister, becoming a minister. Well, the journey is really the gift, right? I mean, yeah, there's the goal and there's the becoming something and getting there in the end, but really there is no end because the journey continues throughout life. But it just can feel from time to time, and I felt this in ministry, I felt it with my bakery, I have felt it in other times of my life, even parenthood, where, you know, just like working, blossoming, expanding, and still there's this like, you know, weight kind of thing, you know, that I'm dragging along. So what she says is, when something is incomplete, it does not remain in the past. It continues to live wherever it has not yet been brought to completion, and it draws on your energy in ways that are often subtle but persistent. I'm going to offer that sometimes they're not so subtle, right? Like you are aware, you feel bogged down and stuck and like you're trudging through wet, drying cement kind of thing, but you keep doing it, right? Like you're aware, like this isn't the optimal way to live, but this is what I know, so I'm going to keep trudging. And so what she's talking about here is that there is a longing or a yearning within us that is unfulfilled, that is incomplete. And until we answer the call, until we show up and embrace our purpose, until we open up and actually do what it is that we are here to do, that from time to time, no matter how great things have been going, there's going to be this feeling of like, I'm still dragging something along. And it's because there's the thing within us that isn't completed. Now, she's also talking about stuff that we haven't addressed. Okay, so stuff that, you know, happened at some point in life, there was some experience, there was some interaction with someone, there was some trauma that we experienced, and it wasn't completely integrated and processed and metabolized, all those jargony words, but there's still something that we're hanging on to, and whether knowingly or unknowingly, if we haven't worked through it, it's going to impact our life right now, in this moment. And so for me, when I was thinking about this, you know, fulfilling longing and yearning sort of thing, and then also, you know, the stuff that we haven't tended to for whatever reason, then I sort of got stuck on the longing and yearning part. Because for me, there were 3 things that come to mind when thinking about longing and yearning. That there is this desire for fuller expression. That there is this desire for more fulfillment. That there is perhaps this desire to be able to just show up as authentically and genuinely as possible, unapologetically so, no matter what other people say, no matter what they think, no matter what the opinions offer, no matter what the circumstances around us are, that we just show up as the love that we are. That's the certainty that we're talking about in our affirmation this month. And so for me, the expression, I was thinking, okay, what have I been sitting on? What have I been like, you know, letting go of or ignoring or not tending to that is just like constantly in my atmosphere and field and dragging me down like that proverbial anchor? And for me, it's playing the piano again. Because I grew up playing the piano. I went through the entire Western Board syllabus. I did exams every year. I did festivals every year. And not only did I really, really enjoy it, but I was actually really good at it. And so at some point in life, in adult life, my creativity and artistry shifted to food. And once it shifted to food, all of my energy, all of my creativity, all of my artistry, and everything went into that, into being a pastry chef, into being an entrepreneur, into being a business owner. And then it kind of shifted from that into ministry because I experienced the call to ministry. And now I knew that music was going to be a huge part of my ministry, and I figured that it was because I would go back to playing piano, and I would be sitting there, and I would be singing and getting everyone whipped up in a lather and like, you know, having a great time and everything. But that's not what happened. And it's because the longer I didn't play, the more frustrating it got for me because I couldn't play. And so now I'm at the stage where I'm singing more and I can do enough on the piano to maybe do some arranging and maybe, you know, like say, okay, Kelby, this, and then, you know, I give it to Kelby and then he works his magic and, you know, out comes a song, arrangement, whatever sort of thing. But this is the thing, and so I decided a few weeks ago, I am returning to taking piano lessons with someone next month. And I'm so excited because it's someone that I really respect and admire, and I'm just so excited that I'm gonna be able to take piano lessons with him. Now, the other part of it is fulfillment. And no matter what I have been doing in my life, it feels like because I focus all of my time and attention and energy on this, there's all of this that I'm not able to tend to. And so as I move through ministry, which for me has never been about just this, like there are so many aspects to ministry for me, and it looks different for everyone. But there's stuff that I haven't been able to do, especially since the collision in June, because this is what I have the bandwidth for. This is what my focus is right now. And yet there is this longing on my heart to do some of this other stuff that I've had to put aside for a while so that I can do this. But this isn't gonna stay super patient for much longer because this is part of my purpose. This is part of what I'm supposed to be doing here. And so I need to be able to allow it to come through. And then there's authenticity. And oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in a home and at a time when children were meant to be seen and not heard, when my opinion didn't matter, when the adults were the ones who knew everything, they were the teachers, they were the ones that you turned to, they were the ones you automatically respected no matter what, and my voice didn't matter. What I thought didn't matter. My opinion didn't matter. I had to do what I was told, I had to think what they told me to think, and that was so hard to do, but became so ingrained and familiar that to this day, even as I'm standing on this stage, there is this voice and this story, this loop running in the background going, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And so I need to make a conscious choice to ignore that voice, and not even ignore it, go like, hey, I hear you, and you're wrong. And then just do this anyway, right? And so, Carl Jung is attributed to saying, what we resist persists, right? And so going back to the incompletion part and then the stuff about like, there's stuff that needs to be tended to. Well, if there is stuff that we haven't tended to for a long, long time and we get in this loop of like ignoring it, then we're going to distract ourselves in order to not tend to this. And our unconscious is so good at trying to distract us. And so when there is something that is too boring, our unconscious is going to make us distracted by something that is more exciting and more enthused and whatever, just so that we can feel something. If there is something that is too painful, then we're going to distract ourselves with medication, with numbing, something to take our attention, whether it's food, whether it's work, whether it's television, whatever, right? And then there are times when things are too uncomfortable, and so we'll allow ourselves, we'll choose unconsciously to be distracted. And the thing is that it's uncomfortable because it's new, because it's different and it's unfamiliar. So to our psyche, it's a threat. So our unconscious is going to go, wait a minute, we're going to create circumstances, we're going to create distractions and aversions so you can just stay exactly as you are because that's safe. But when you stay safe that way, what happens? You stay small. You can't grow, because growing is a threat. And so how would you ever evolve? How would you ever allow that incredible, amazing, awesome, divine, energetic flow that is the very essence of your being, that is this incredible creative power that is responsible for everyone and everything that ever was and will be? How could that possibly be unleashed and fulfilled through you if you're doing this and holding on and just like staying small? And so we got to be willing to grow. We got to be willing to get uncomfortable. We got to be willing to feel the pain, right? So this brings me back to that 10-day dopamine rebalance challenge that I've talked about a couple of times. And the reason that I wanted to bring it back today is because the tech hasn't been working for the last 2.5 weeks. And so the people online haven't had a chance to see this. And the reason that I asked the gentleman, the Elevate Trio, to stand on here is because in a moment, I'm going to ask them to play some music. So there was this 10-day dopamine rebalance challenge that I did through Insight Timer, and every day there was a different technique that we were taught for about 10 minutes to rebalance dopamine. And on the very last day, it was music. And the guy that did this, Murray Hittery, I think is his name, he said that music is one of the most powerful dopamine activators. And the reason that it is so powerful is because it keeps us in the present moment. Because when we're being distracted, we're pulling ourselves out of the present moment. We're allowing ourselves to be pulled out of the present moment. We're in this back part of the brain, but when we come into the present moment, or when we do something that shifts us from this back part of the brain to this front part of the brain that is more advanced, that is newer, then we are in the present moment. Then we are anchored, we are grounded, we are focused, we are paying attention. And when we do that, then we can access that certainty and that knowing that always exists within us. So on your tables, there are some little forms there, and I know there were a few people who were here on Sunday who had a chance to do this, but I'm gonna ask you, do it again and see if there's something new that comes up, because you're a brand new you right now compared to 3 days ago. So grab a form and a pencil, and as you open up to the what I love and appreciate thoughts and feelings that you're gonna write down on your sheet, I'm gonna invite the Elevate Trio for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes just to play something, just improvise something that is sort of peaceful, calm, and allow us to just really sort of open up our hearts and expand our minds and anchor ourselves in the love we truly are. And then for everyone here, I invite you to just jot down 1, 2, 3, if you have 4 things, just write them down. Whatever it is that is in your heart. How are you feeling? Sorry, I turned my mic off. How are you feeling after writing some things down that you appreciate about VTC? Because not only is music something that releases and rebalances dopamine, but so is appreciation and gratitude. And so combining the two together is like a double whammy, allowing you and kind of forcing you to really be in the present moment. And when you're in that present moment is when you are anchored in the love and creativity that you are at your core. And so thank you, gentlemen. Let's give them a hand. And thank you to you for your presence. And so as we move through the rest of our time, sort of, in the coming hours, days, weeks ahead, I really invite us all to become more conscious of when it is that we are allowing ourselves to be distracted. Because it is a choice, even if it's an unconscious one. Nobody's making that decision for us. But when we are finding ourselves distracted, because that means we're getting pulled out of the present moment, and the thing that is vying for our attention, bless you, the distraction, that's not really what requires our attention. What requires our attention is the thing that we're allowing ourselves to be distracted from, right? So the allure of distraction can be strong, and most of the time, it's not the distraction that requires our attention, it's the feeling or experience we're having that does. But because it's too boring, too painful, or too uncomfortable, our unconscious looks for distractions to keep us safe. Why? Because it thinks we can't handle it. It doesn't even ask our permission, it just automatically decides that our conscious mind isn't equipped enough to handle all of this intense stuff, these intense feelings, and so it creates these diversions. So what ends up happening is the very thing that requires our attention is the very thing that we get pulled away from. But the thing is, just like with what Maria Namath offered, if we don't tend to it, if we don't complete it, whether it is something that we haven't finished because it's something that we experienced and it was too painful or traumatic or whatever to deal with, or whether it is the truth of who and what we are, whether it is expressing more fully, whether it is embracing our purpose, whether it is showing up unapologetically as our genuine selves, all of that requires conscious, intentional choice. And so my question to all of us is, what's one thing you are willing to do today? And I'm actually going to ask you to take out your phones, and I want you to text the answer to yourself right now. Come on, pull out your phones. What is one thing you are willing to do today to bring completion to a longing or yearning in your life so that you feel more expressed, fulfilled, and authentically you, no matter what? What is one thing you are willing to do today to bring completion to a longing or yearning in your life so that you feel more expressed, fulfilled, and authentically you, no matter what? And you can take that into conscious conversation with you. Thank you, and so it is. All right, gentlemen, you are released for a few moments. All right, so once you have finished texting yourselves, if anyone would like to get into a group of 2 or 3 or 4, then I invite you to just gather around a table and start to unpack whatever it is that came up for you. All right? Thank you so much, and I will ding the meditation bowl in about 10 minutes when it's time to come back.
Happy dog, you cool with it?
2-minute warning, 2-minute warning. All right, welcome back, everyone. Okay, look, you guys didn't even have to do a lot of moving around, just sort of turn around. So, as we wait for the musicians to come on back to the stage, I'm going to hand out the You Are Beautiful blessing box, and I'm going to give it to Liz, because she's so beautiful. And so just remember to close the lid before you pass it on to the next person so that everybody can see that beautiful message. Grab a little affirmation or blessing out of the box. Whichever one you get is the exact right one for you. Add it to your collection. I know mine is exploding all over my wall and desk. And so yeah, I just want to check in, see how people are feeling now compared to how they were feeling when they walked in. Much better. Thumbs up, clapping, lighter. I see a big smile over here and eyebrows going on. All right. I always feel better myself, I have to say. Could we have the next slide, please? And Elevate Trio, could you come back, please? All right. So now, here's the thing. We are these incredible, amazing, infinite beings. This source, this spirit, this energy, this love. And so it can never run out. So now is an opportunity for us to feel this incredible generosity by sharing some of that love. So if you would like to share your love through offering a donation so that we can keep this incredible kind of programming going, then I invite you to do so in one of the many ways that are listed on here. I'm offering my offering for today. And otherwise, whether you put something in, physically or not, I invite you to offer an intention. So spend a few moments with the bowl and offer an intention for abundance, for prosperity, for connection, for yourself and for our community. And then what I invite you to do is take those cards that you filled out and drop them in this bowl, okay? So I'm going to pass the abundance bowl over here. And then put in your cards, put in your offerings, and as you do, the Elevate Trio is going to gift us with another tune. Thank you.
Now, here at the VTC, knowing is a certainty. But this composer was, they hadn't attended at that time. This is a song called I Wish I Knew. I hear a GP dog. I wish I knew someone like you could love me. I wish I knew you'd place no one above me. Did I mistake this for real romance? I wish I knew, but only you can answer. If you don't care, why must I hope and pray so? Don't leave me alone. If I'm a fool, just say so. Should I keep dreaming on, or just forget? What should I do? I wish I knew. I wish I knew someone like you could love me. I wish I knew you'd place no one above me. I mistake this for a real romance. I wish I knew, but only you can answer. If you don't care, why must I hope and pray so? Don't leave me on. If I'm a fool, just say so. Should I keep dreaming on, or just forget you? What should I do? I wish I knew. wish I knew, but only you can. If you don't care, why must I hope and pray so? Don't make me come. If I'm a fool, just say so. I keep dreaming on a just look at you. I wish I knew. What should I do? I wish I knew.
The Elevate Trio, Mr. Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse electric bass, and Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, so we are coming to the end of our time together tonight, so just a handful of announcements. It is the third Saturday of the month, which means it's 90 breathwork time. And so if you are interested in using more intentional breath to release trapped trauma, stories, things like that in your psyche and in your body, then this is an incredible experience to attend. And this month's journey is releasing guilt and shame. All right, next slide. You'll get there. So starting in May, we are relaunching Elevate. So the Elevate as you know it is actually done next week. So there's one more Elevate this month in this way, and then there's going to be a break because there are 5 Wednesdays in May, so no Elevate on the last Wednesday of the month. And then on May 5th, Thursday, we are relaunching the brand spanking new Elevate. There's going to be a new vibe, new flow, bit of a new look to it that we're going to unravel and unfold over the coming weeks. And so we invite you to please join us for Thursday, May 5th, to bring a friend or two and join us as we celebrate the revision and the relaunch of Elevate. All right, next please. There are 2 things happening in our sanctuary. This one is actually tomorrow, nervous system support, winter going into spring. You got a call. Do you know these? Okay, you know what? Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to go.
Okay. All right. Apparently this has been canceled, so no more nervous system support winter going into spring. Okay. Next Thursday. Nope, back. Next Thursday, April 23rd from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., the Astral Apothecary, which is supporting the body and mind with astrology and alchemy for the season and our interesting times. If you are interested in that, there is a poster in the foyer, but the best place to go is onto our events page on the VTC website. Just click on the event and you'll get all the information for registering, fees, and all that kind of stuff there. Next. All right, this is super important. It is the middle of the month and there are only 2 weeks left. This is where things were when I left today to come here. And so you can see that the target was surpassed and the pledges definitely surpassed, but they have only collected not even half of what was pledged. If they don't collect all of those pledges by the end of this month, the society is done. So if you pledged money and you haven't given your money yet, please give your money, okay? And if you didn't pledge, please give some money. All right, because we definitely want to save the society. This isn't about the building, the venue. The venue is owned by the city. It is the society, okay? Without the society, these guys will not have that venue to play in. All of the musicians that call that venue home, that call this the society champions, they won't be able to do it, okay? So please let us all do our part in saving Hermans and knowing that this money is going to be used and allocated in super amazing, smart, and transparent ways. Peter?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I have the honor on the last night of Hermans I will be playing along with Pablo for the last night of Hermits. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Is it a sold out show already?
Not yet.
Not yet.
When is it? What's the date?
25th of April.
The Saturday, the last Saturday in April. April 25th, Herman's. Pablo, Peter, probably a bunch of other people too, right?
Yes.
Yep. Singers, all sorts of percussion instrument.
Can I just ask you about the date in May for the new elevator? Did you say the 7th?
The 5th? I meant the
The
5th.
That's a Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah, Thursday is the 7th.
The 7th. It's the 7th. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right. It's the Thursday, whatever the first Thursday is. Thank you, Mahoney. The 7th. Thursday, May 7th. That's when you want to come here. Thursday, May 5th is some other dimension. All right. Okay, so back to this. Let's work to save Herman's and View Street Social Society. Okay, next. It's time to close out. So I'm going to invite everybody who wants to stand to please stand, and we're going to sing this tune. Next slide, please. And for those of you who have been here before and sung it before, you know your part, but if you want to sing the rest of the words, please feel free.
Yeah.
And if I can get this, thank you. And if I can get that note, you know, in the bridge, before the bridge. Okay. All right.
A, B, C. 1, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. This room is so heavy. Something on this side. Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Look at this. Woo! Here we go. And for the one who lives is from vibration and power for creating. And now we take our thoughts and feelings, use imagination, focus our attention, that's the how. We're living life, we're feeling joy, we're making peace, heart and mind, we're being love, oh, we're having faith, we're filing up, all the time. Yeah, you guys gotta like keep it a little more. Here we go. In anticipation of a new direction, and yearning for the truth within me. People of all ages, lifetime and devotion, embracing universal divinity. All right, get ready. Here we go. We're living life. We're feeling joy. We're making peace. Heart and mind. We're being loved. We're spiraling up all the time. The elevation, raise the love vibration, quantum activation. Woo! Time for celebration. Be the transformation. Join the revelation. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and bless your neighbor for the week. All right, come on back. We're going to finish up. All right, here we go. love, we're having faith, we're spiraling up all the time. Feel the elevation, raise the love vibration, quantum activation. Time for celebration, be the transformation, join the revelation. Woo! We're living life, we're being joy, we're making peace. Heart and mind, we're being love, we're having faith, we're spiraling up all the time. Woo! And that's another Elevated BTC. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Pablo Cardenas, Peter Dowse, Kelby MacNayr, the Elevate Trio. Thank you to our tech team, Daniela and Isabel and Glenn in the back there. Thank you to everyone. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you to Denise, our greeter. And thank you for everyone who came, whether in person, online. We love you. We appreciate you. We are so glad you're here. And we will see you next week. And another big happy birthday to Bonnie. All right, gentlemen.